Okay guys, as promised, I'm going to show you how I make my egg yolk. You're going to need a NutriBullet, or you could actually crush it by hand. But I prefer this because it makes it nice and fine. So what you need is nutritional yeast. I'm not sure if you can see my nutritional yeast. And I'm going to add 3 tablespoons. It's very easy, and wow, I was so impressed. I used to buy a product called the Veg. Not only was it expensive, but I couldn't find it anymore, so I was going crazy. How do I make that egg again, that egg yolk? And sometimes my daughter used to like it, and she used to dip bread into it. And so now I'm going to show you how I make my version of the kind egg yolk. So like I said, we need 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. You have to get yourself, I'm not sure if you can see this, some black salt powder. Now this, believe it or not, smells and tastes like egg. So you will need some of this. And I put about a quarter, oh no, this I put a half a teaspoon, sorry. I'm trying to remember what I did earlier. Half a teaspoon. And trust me, when I say this tastes and smells like egg, it's amazing. You can find this at Indian grocery stores. Okay. Then I used tapioca starch, and I used a quarter teaspoon. Now I'm just making a small batch for you to see. Otherwise I would make a lot more than this. But then you could keep this dry ingredient in a jar, and you can use it when you need it. Xanthan gum. This is an emulsifier, so you need this. And I put also a quarter teaspoon of this. This is what's going to give you that slimy egg yolk feel. And it holds all your ingredients together so it doesn't separate on you. And we're going to need some turmeric. And I put a quarter teaspoon of that. And that's it. You see how simple that is? Now we're just going to give this a good pulse. And that's your ingredients on how to make an egg yolk. So I'm going to just start with, to show you, a teaspoon. And we need some water. Now I have to get this right. I'm just going to check it out and see if it works out for me. This is 1.5, but you want just a little more. Oh wow, it really, I mean, if you could only smell this, it is so eggy. And that's it. You beat it, a little more water. So I would say 2 teaspoons of water to the 1 teaspoon of powder. Maybe even a little extra water. I'm not sure if you can see this, but it is like an egg yolk. Depends how runny you want it. Oh, geez. Was I off screen? So there you go. I put 1 teaspoon of the powder I made. And I used, I would say 2 teaspoons of the water. And if I use 2.5 teaspoons of water, you still have a nice runny egg. So you really don't need that much. And if you, I wish you could, you see that little stretch? And I bet I could still add a little, you see the stretch? Just like egg yolk. Let me just zoom that in for you, hold on. let me show you. I just want to show you the stretch it has, just like an egg yolk. You see it? It just dangles there like egg yolk would. And I bet I could still use just a little extra water in here. So I would say 1 teaspoon. You see the stretch it has? This, you can just dip your bread in it, and it's loaded with B vitamins. Very eggy like. And that's it. Feels like you've got egg yolk on your scramble. Do you see the stretch? It's just hanging there, just like an egg yolk. And that's it, guys. Very easy. Okay, so what I'm doing for the white of the egg, I got some medium firm tofu. We tried it with the soft tofu. I mean, it was delicious. My daughter loved it, but it was a little too soft. So we're gonna try the egg with the medium tofu. So we're gonna just cut it across, and to make it look like a round egg, we're just gonna use this ramekin, and we're just gonna cut around it. So this way it looks like Egg McMuffin egg. And this, I'm going to put it back into its own water, and we can make that another day. So there's my egg. Erica, can you be so sweet to get me the turmeric, salt and pepper? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit of turmeric right on top. And when this cooks, it's just going to give it a little bit of a yellow color to it. Okay, I'm going to take you over to the stove. Okay, so I am using some Eve's veggie ham slices, and I'm going to use about 3-4 of these. I think 3 is more than enough. And I'm just going to crisp those up in a pan. And what I'm going to do to this is I'm just going to do a little splash, not even a splash, a couple of drops.
Did you do that last?
Yes, of liquid smoke. And I'm going to add some maple to give it that bacon taste. I'm just going to get these going till they're nice and golden. I mean, this is pretty much straightforward, how you prefer. I also have a seitan recipe that I make. I have it, I'll put a link to it. And that's one of my favorite to make a bacon out of it. It's versatile. You can use it in many dishes. But if you cut it thin and add some maple to it, and a little bit of liquid smoke, you get that nice bacon taste to it. So we're just going to get this going. Now, if you prefer a firmer tofu, you could do that also. But I like the jelliness of this because it feels like an egg white. You don't want to cook it too long. Can I have a small plate, please, Eric? Okay, so put that aside. And now, since there's still a little bit of maple there, we're going to slide our egg onto it. And we're just going to do a little sprinkle of black pepper on there. A little bit of gray or pink sea salt. We're just going to let that go, and then we're going to flip it over. And if you want it sweeter, you just add a little more maple, which I will do because my daughter likes it just a little. And we're going to add the turmeric in the back. And that's about it. Now, the longer you keep it here, the more the water comes out of it. So if you want a firmer tofu, you could either leave this in there, leave it frying a little longer, or you can get a firmer tofu to work with. So what I'm using here, I'm not sure if you can see it, it's a Daya cheddar style slice. And I'm going to put a slice of that on my bread. Oh, Vegenaise first. Sorry, guys. So I'm using Vegenaise, or you could use any vegan mayo. And I put that on both sides. I'm going to put a slice of the Daya cheese. My beautiful egg white. And here's my egg yolk. Smack in the middle. And now we have my deli slices. And that's it, guys. It's as easy as that. And there you go.